In problems 12 through 16, we're going to start describing our data. And we're describing our data, describing our x values, which are our domain values, and our y values, which are our range. So we're describing the domain and range of our data. So when we look at number 12, easiest way to deal with ordered pairs is to just remember that the ordered pairs are x comma y. So you can even write a little x and a y above each one. So go ahead and pause your video and write an x, y above each one, and then list the x values under domain and the y values under range, and then check back to make sure you got it correct. Notice on the range values, the 9 repeated. I didn't need to write the 9 twice because I was just writing the values of my range, which I've already written 9 one time. It doesn't matter how many times it repeats. Okay, on number 13, it is a fairly straightforward one, so go ahead and list out your answers. Pause your video to do it, and then check back to make sure that you got the right answers. Okay, so number 13 was pretty straightforward. On number 14, we're now dealing with a graph with discrete data, separate points. The easiest way and the safest way to do this is to go ahead and write the ordered pair beside each point. And then I take it one step further and I put all my ordered pairs into an XY table so that I make sure to list all of my X's and all of my Y's as domain and range. So go ahead and get your answer to number 14. Pause the video, get your answers, and then check back. Okay, just verify that you didn't write down your 1s or your 2s in the range more than once. Then on number 15, mapping diagrams are very easy. They've already listed out your domain and range in the mapping, so go ahead and do that one. Pause your video, do your work, and then check back for the answer. Okay, so number 15 was pretty straightforward. Now let's look at number 16. On number 16, they have given us a situation where we are finding out how much fluid or juice is left in a bottle after taking X number of gulps. I can count the gulps that I'm taking. That makes us discrete data. And they've given us the domain. They've given us the X values. So we can write a XY or an in-out table and put all of our X values in. Then what we're going to have to do to get our output is put each X through the process rule. So substitute in the 0 for X and solve it. Substitute in the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. Send them through the process rule to fill out our table. And then you can write your range using brackets or braces. So using braces. So go ahead and pause your video, complete your in and out table, and write your range values. So as long as you were able to correctly put your domain values, your X values through the process rule, then you would be able to come up with the correct range. Now let's look at reasonable domain and range. And what we mean by reasonable domain and range is that your answers actually have to make sense in a real-world situation. So, for example, on number 17, we're talking about John's gift card is loaded with money. And then he buys books that are $3 each. So every time he buys a book, his gift card is going down. That's a gift card. When it hits 0, is he going to be able to buy any more books? No, it's a gift card. It's not credit. It's a gift card. So reasonable domain, he's going to get to a certain number of books and he can't buy any more. So it's not reasonable to say that he can buy negative 20 books. He can't buy negative books. It's not reasonable to say he can buy 5 million books because somehow that's not going to fit on his $12 card. So go ahead and look at number 17. I want you to pause the video and give it a shot on your own and then check back for the answers. Okay, so once you figured out that X was your number of books and Y was your gift card balance and came up with your equation of your starting amount on the gift card minusing $3 per book, $3 times every book and ran the number of books. So you can buy 0 books and still have $12 on the gift card. And then every time John buys a book, the gift card goes down. But when you get to $0 on the gift card, no more books. So that defines our domain and range. Okay, so look at number 18. Make sure you pay attention to the student can buy a maximum of 3 tickets when dealing with our domain and range. Pause your video, complete it, and then look back for the answer. Just like in number 17, it's discrete because you can't buy part of a ticket, can't buy part of a book in 17, can't buy part of a ticket in 18. Okay, on number 19, I want you again to give some thought to number 19. Pause the video, do your work, and then check back for the final explanation. Okay, this one's discrete because Joe has to work a full hour to get paid, and he's only paid for the full hour. So he's paid for 1 hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours, etc. Also notice we didn't start at 0. Joe's not allowed to work 0 hours in a week. He always works at least 1 hour, but not more than 5. So that gives him a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 option.